Hello, I'm Shirley Walters. Shortly before I retired from UWC in 2014, I was honored by the Gender Equity Unit. They presented me with a wonderful photo storybook. And they said to me, "You have feminist education in your blood." I take this as a compliment. But what does it mean to me? The majority of women in the world who carry the greatest load in terms of family, community, health, food security, physical environment, and who are given very little recognition for their enormous contributions, are central to me as a feminist. In a crisis like COVID-19, the evidence is clear. In particular, poor working class women are the shock absorbers of the crisis. They experience greater levels of job losses, food poverty. Many women will shield their children as they skip meals themselves, and of course with a higher level of gender-based violence. The thesis is, if their conditions and positions improve, they experience social, economic, environmental, and gender justice, the well-being of all of us, including the planet, will be vastly improved. Poor and working class women experience the worst oppression, including exclusion from education and training opportunities. Violence and fear impacts all of our learning. Therefore, if we as educators use methodologies that take this into account, it'll be good for everyone. Feminist educators recognize that we learn through play, through our bodies, through participation and books, and much more. Another key aspect of feminist education is playful celebration. And I can promise you, I've done a lot of that in my time. Deepening understanding of structural oppression is critical, be it linked to patriarchy, racism, colonialism, imperialism, or degradation of the environment. Do you know that UWC was a teenager when I first met her? She was 16 in 1976. I was employed in a 6-month research job, and this led to the setting up of a community-based organization called the Careers Research and Information Center. I returned to UWC in 1982 for another 6-month research job, this time looking at the role of UWC in adult education. This led to UWC establishing a chair. In 1985, having completed my doctorate in education for democratic participation amongst anti-apartheid civil society organizations, I was appointed as the first professor of adult and continuing education. My colleagues and I built a vibrant Center for Adult and Continuing Education, in shorthand, CASE, which led the country with many firsts: gender in popular education, anti-racism training, blended learning into rural areas to support community educators and activists, an archive of materials from anti-apartheid struggles, an online master's program on adult learning and global change, done collaboratively with international partners. And this was way ahead of its time in 2000, when the internet was new, slow, and expensive. It's gone on to win many awards and is still going strong. After 15 years as director of CASE, I was encouraged to focus on flexible provision of education for working adults across UWC. Under the Vice Chancellor's auspices, I led the University Mission Initiative on lifelong learning. We studied continuing professional development, recognition of prior learning, part-time studies, resource-based learning, and lifelong learning itself. This led to the establishment of the Division for Lifelong Learning, which worked across faculties. I became the founding director, and over the years, we helped the university develop leading practices in CPD, RPL, flexible learning and teaching. And this gave access to thousands of people who would normally have been excluded. Lifelong learning as a philosophy and an approach is of critical importance, but it challenges many of the norms of the traditional university, and its substantive implementation is certainly a site of contestation and struggle. So what does being a champion of transformation require? Social and political purpose in support of justice for the majority and for the planet. Passion, dedication, and commitment for the greater good. Working together with others and in solidarity, nationally and internationally. Creativity and playfulness, and not taking yourself too seriously. Recognizing that our knowledge is partial and we must continue to learn, to inquire, and to engage until we can't. We need to be simultaneously humbler and more assertive. Congratulations, UWC, on your 60th anniversary. May UWC women continue to lead. Solidarity in Women's Month.